So this is the file where we have already written a couple of functions related to Affine, image rotation and image flipping. So let's create another Py file, and this one would say stapp.py, that is our Streamlit app.py. And let's import the libraries required for this particular Streamlit app. And the first one is going to be, first one, very important one, we'll have to import this particular Py file so that we can use these functions, these three functions. So let's write from image functions import star, so that we are importing all these things. And then we have to import the Streamlit as st. And the third one we'll have to import from pil import image, and yeah, this is going to be image. Sorry, the I caps. And the third one is import cv2, and then so these are the libraries what we need to use in this particular module. Then let me define my main function. I have written only one main function where we will be having all these options in a nested format. It's not going to be very longer, but it's going to be somewhere around 50-70 lines, I hope so. And then first let's give the app a name, and we will say the same as our PPT. Welcome to image transformations with OpenCV. And then we'll have to upload the image file. So we would say st.file uploader, and this would, we would say please upload an image file, and we'll have to give the type of the image file accepted for our particular Streamlit app. So let's give JPG, PNG and JPEG. So these are the three types what we are allowing, and let's save this in something called as image uploaded variable. And then we would say if file uploaded is not none, only if it is not none, else it will create an issue, it will not be able to do any transformations. I would open the image file uploaded, and then let's save it as an image with small I. And since all these functions, whatever we have already written, they take the image as numpy array. They don't take JPG image as it is here. So we'll have to convert it into numpy array. So we'll say numpy.array, and that would be our image. And let's save in something called as image underscore cv2, and then we'll have to convert this channel of image JPG image to numpy array by giving something called as pgr to bgRA. So I'm going to write this cv2.cvt to color, and what is the file name? That is going to be this image underscore cv2. And what is the conversion what we are planning to do? It is cv2 color underscore bgr2 bgra. I'm adding an extra a here. So if we need this channel as well here, we'll have to add this a. But since we have not used much this particular channel, if we are not going to use much, we can omit a. But I have just written, so just take the function, and we are going to save in same image CV2 variable. And then we are done with the conversion first, and then the drop down list would appear here, the main drop down list. So I would say st.selection box, and we will just write a line saying select the transformation you want to apply. And what are the three options are we going to give? We'll give as the first one is just a select. I'm not giving any options. So the first one, it should actually say select, so that you select either of these three, affine, rotation, and flipping. So the first one is going to be affine, and the second one is going to be rotation, and the third one is going to be flipping. So if the option select is selected, then nothing would happen, and if either of these three are selected, then we will the backend function would would be applicable. So the reason we are doing this is by default this would be a select, the first one. So if it is affine or something, it would be done automatically. The next first option would be applicable automatically. Hence, we are just giving this option select. This would be default and nothing would happen from the backend here. And then let's save this option. The user selects from the front end as an option, and we would write this option as you selected the option as option, and we are just giving the user that you have selected this particular option. And then our function starts here. If option is select, then nothing would happen. I'm just giving a pass. If the option is affine, if the option is affine, let's give lines please. If it is affine, then there would be a header of the input image which says it is an input, and the image was displayed as t.image, and then it would be marked down to show the output image. So I would say image after affine transformation. The reason I'm giving these two points, the double star, is it'll make those the words within those double stars as bold. And this supports emoji as well, so we can give cool sunglasses, or we can give something like waving or a thumbs up. All this couple of emojis it supports. So let's get this down, and finally we would display our image after the affine transformation as warp affine. The function name is warp affine. We have written the complete one, warp affine. Yes, it will be affine, and the image which takes is this. This is going to be a numpy array, so I'm going to use this. So this is where our function for the first one, warp affine, completes. So this is where we will be displaying the transformed image. This is the first one, and let's get started with the second option of rotation. This is our second option, and our option elif, if it is rotation, then what are we going to do? In rotation, the same, these two things will remain the same, and then we are going to give a slider which gives us the option to select from 0 to 360 degrees. And let me choose something. st.slider, and I would say select the angle of rotation, and then what would be my minimum value of the angle? That would be 0, and the maximum value of the selection would be 360 degrees. And let's save this in a variable called as angle chosen. Ang chosen. Simply we can even say angle. Let's just leave it as angle. That's fine. And we'll have to give an option to write function slider, function slider value is our angle chosen. So this is going to be angle, just angle, and the degrees, these many degrees. So this is what we'll have to give in this write function. And finally, to display the image, we'll have to just write these two lines. So we would say image after, instead of affine transformation, we would say image after rotation. And we can remove these emojis here. So image after rotation, and this would change a bit. So st.image, I would say image underscore rotation, the second function. This is going to be a second function, image rotation, and that would take my numpy array, that is our image underscore cv2, and then second argument it would be the angle chosen. So just angle. So this is where this argument comes handy here. So we are just giving angle from the UI page instead of backend, instead of hard coding. So this is the second option, what it is. And now let's get to the third one. That would be our flipping. That would be our flipping. So this is again another elif option is flipping. And if the user chooses flipping, the first two things will remain the same. This is repetitive. This could be written once. We can try. And now we'll have to give drop down list here. Instead of slider, we'll have to give a drop down list here. So I would say st dot select selection box to select box, and I would say select an option, and the three options are going to be, first one is by default it would be select, for which there won't be any response. The second one is going to be 0, which is vertical flip, and the first one is going to be vertical flip 0, second one is going to be 1 horizontal flip, and the third one is -1, which is going to be both. So we have given all these three options, and let's save this one in flip out, the name of the variable. And then let's write this st.write, and we have to tell what is the user selected. So we would say you selected, and this is going to flip out. Yes. And then if the user chooses flip out, sorry, the first one, the select, then nothing would happen. So if flip out is select, then nothing happens. We would just say pass. If the user chooses either of these three, 0, 1 or -1, it would go to header as flipped image, and it would be displayed. Sorry, this should come to the next one. And this is st.image. We would say image flipping. This is the function from here, image flipping. And there are two arguments. The first one, which is our numpy array, cv2, and the second one is going to be flip out of those three options, 0, 1 or -1. So these are the three ones. So this is where our third function completes. This is our third function. It gets over here, and we'll have to write one more else from the main function here. So we would just say else pass. Else pass. And we'll have to write if name equal to main to run the app, if name equal to main function should run. This is what we have to write now. So once we are done with this, we can go to the Anaconda prompt and we would just say streamlit stapp.py to run this app. So let's go to our Anaconda prompt. So this is where, this is the folder in which are these two functions are lying. So we'll have to go to that particular folder. So I am already in that particular folder. So I would say streamlit run. This is my backend function, so for which I'm not going to do anything, and this is my Streamlit app from which things are running. So Streamlit run st underscore app.py, st underscore app.py, and let's run this. So it gave an error. So let's see what is the error. So it is saying flip out single equal to, it should have been double equal to. So let's save this. And now is it giving an error again? Just we need to run this one. So yes, it ran. So now let's try to browse a file and see where is it working or not. So for an example, this is the one. So once, so it gave an error. So it is saying cvt 2.2 color. So this 2 should not have been there. So while typing we would have done some kind of error. So if I have to remove this, it is cvt color. So let's save this and let's go to the app again. So just we have to rerun, and it says selection box. It is basically select box, it's not selection box. We'll have to go to the transformation you want to apply. Let's go to the transformation. This is a select box. If we look down here, we have written select box, so we'll have to go for select box. Yes, I think now it should work. This small typo errors, that's what creates issues. So yes, now we have got the options. Now we'll have to select an option of affine. So you see the image could be transformed. So we could see the waving emoji as well, it is supporting. So this is the first one. Let's see the second option, rotation. Are we getting the main image? Yes. Are we getting the image after rotation? We'll have to slide and see to check if it is working or not. So I'm just selecting 33 degrees, then bit more 59, then 93, and so on. Yes, it is changing with my the angle I'm selecting from the slider window. It is changing. it is good. It's changing and it is showing me what is the degrees I'm selecting as well. So let's see the third option, the flipping one. Yes, third one. So this is before my transformations. This is the input image. So I'll have to select 0. So 0 is basically a vertical flip. So if I'm selecting 0, it is just a vertical, it has gone upside down. And the second one is going to be a horizontal flip. So this is going to be just changed in the horizontal way, 1. And if I'm selecting the third option, -1, it is going to be both the right side, and now just from here it will go upside down. So it has just gone the angle, the boy is looking this way in the input image, now he is looking this way and it has gone upside down. So this is going to be -1. So this is how we have built a very basic app, Streamlit tab, with the transformations from OpenCV. So there are a lot of other options as well, thresholding, and even in the transformations there are a couple of other ones. I've just tried with very basic functionality on how a slider would look like, how a slider would function, or how the nested drop down would function. This is the main drop down and this is another additional drop down. So I just wanted to show how these things work in Streamlit. I can't stop loving Streamlit. It is very elegant one with very minimal code. If somebody doesn't have very good experience in HTML and all the front end technologies, CS and so on, no need to worry. It is very straightforward and simple one. You have seen how we have done it. Thank you for watching.